So, going to work more on track here. So let's see how this goes today. So, double sound, not nice. I don't want to be on a 450 either, so let's get the 250 going. So, let's get into the track making. Just have to answer a text real quick. See what we did last time. Last time I think we did banks only, pretty much. Banks on the side of the track. So let's see here, we did the inside here. I think that was the last thing we did before. Maybe it wasn't. So let's delete the statues here that we don't need. Here we're just for marking up stuff. I don't know if that one is supposed to be there. So we have the outside, we have the inside. I need to make a pile over here. Ditch about there. Fence, ditch. Just considering whether to make the fences right now or wait with that. Tough call. I usually do like to wait with that, but I'm going to go with making them right now either way. So I think this one is the one I want. Building, builder. Sponsor tower, scoring house, love river, lock. Here it is. Those are those. So basically just fetching what I need. Making the references right. GP. What's up, Chris? Shouldn't you be working? Or maybe you have lunch break, I don't know. GP dot billboard dot small think dot jm buildert. So you're working on the stream? I don't think so. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's Alexander. I've seen you on Facebook. Now I do need to restart the game here. forgot to save, just as always. So I did decide to make the fences right away. Going to... No, I actually removed those. That was surprising. So let's locate a fence here. That's a good working procedure, Ray. Always doing that. And amazing weird that I place objects in middle of start straight, but that's one way to keep them, to just have nowhere to have them pretty much. I'm actually going to do one thing here. Something 40. Exit the game, open this, reload. That was a stupid move, but that red key is either way not active, so yeah. Build bar. So that didn't work apparently. Yes, it's the Stenungsund track. Yeah. So now we get some texture on this too. Let's save, reload. This time it stays, so that's nice. I was going to make one more change to this, and I'd set this one to -10, or I can set to -15. This will make like if you have it above, if you have it below 3, it will always remain leveled, as of otherwise it can get leveled due to what it's standing on. But if you have -10 or more, or less perhaps, I don't know which one, it will always remain leveled. I feel like my voice is all over the place. So if I move this one now, it should be perfectly straight, as of otherwise it should not be. So I'm just going to just a little bit much. So here's the leveled one, and if we put this one on the side of a berm, we can see that it's not changing, while this one is getting sideways. This one just remains straight. And since we're going to make a straight thing here, we don't need to since the fence is straight, we simply don't need something that can turn. And it's also easier to work with this when it's all straight. So I'm just considering how to do this in a good way. I think I'm going to gradients, choose the flat one here, paint, and then paint the outside here. Let's get in here. I got pretty much the top of it, not entirely. Going to shave off a few more inches. This last one might have been too much, which is not what we want to. So let's see where it starts. So it starts pretty much in the beginning of the turn. Statues. This is one of the saddest parts to do because this can take so long time. And then you want to make sure that everything here lines up. So I'm focusing on the poles on the side to line up, which is time consuming, unfortunately. And as we can see here, we can see that this billboard got placed higher than others and it does not look pretty. So I simply have to make them a little bit more on the outside. So that didn't work, we will have to paint here then. Using the paint tool to lower the ground. The statue is still stuck in the air, just clicking and it should be applied to the ground. Sort of updating the height. I'm just considering what to do here. Since if you look in real life, we can see that you can't see the poles as you can on these ones. So I'm actually just going to quit. Then I am going to open Notepad++ and set this one to -1 feet. Right, I mean, here you can see that there's no grass. It's just in the very beginning it might be. So I would like to not have to. It's just a personal thing here. Just going to lower them a bit more. Let's add 3. 3 is going to be too little, so let's add 5 instead. So instead of 1, it's just simply 1.5. I accidentally duplicated a line. And you can see that this is the part that takes time, and it's no fun to do. If I would have had banners around the whole track, I would have tried a different method, where I use Blender or something that sort of creates a model for the entire track. I think this looks good. And I am going to try and make them go on top of the berm here, actually. Since that's the way they go in real life, I want to try and replicate them here as well. So this looks no good. Let's try to do a few more here. And as I said, I'm just aiming for these two poles to go into each other. That makes it look decent. pretty good. The only problem, as you see now, is these ugly transitions. So I am going to save, as the berm is shaped nicely at the moment. But I am also going to try a thing here. Let's do the set from terrain thing. So I'm basically going to put this where that middle pole is for the first one, and I'm going to flatten this and like that in the middle, set from terrain, and then I'm going to try and have a really small paintbrush, but paint in the middle of each and every middle line. I just realized I have not saved, so I'm going to do a backup in case I decide that the second one I'm trying now was not good. So I am going to save a backup. Now I'm going to press save, exit game, and now we can see if this is the stupidest thing I've ever done or if it's actually somewhat good. But as I said, I might have to recommend doing the other method here with Blender. Especially if you're going to do a lot of fences, it's easier and better in any way. Whoopsie. Let's see my fence. Few of them missed. It looks terrible. And I'm never going to try this again. I hope you see the idea. I simply went for make a small hole in the middle here, and it will be that height, and that would be good, but it went really bad instead. So simply just exit, and I made a backup. It's always good to have backups. So paste this one into here instead. You can save a backup here either way to have on the desktop. So as you see, backups is your friend. That is something to keep in mind for all times of track making. So it doesn't look too good, but it doesn't look too bad either. And I much more prefer this one than the other old, or the one we just did here. So I'm going to stick with it. Let's see. This continues on for quite a while. So until that entry point in the track, it's this one we do have a fence. I'm trying to put the fences in this dark spot, dark area. And we should have the jump right about here. Perhaps it should be more angled towards the track. So if we see these ones go straight out while the track goes slightly right. I'm going to keep it this way for now. So let's we have ditch on the inside and ditch on the outside. Let's try and make those. And if we're going to do this the right way, we should have a fence about here too, so we can't have too big of a ditch. Something like that, maybe. Looks about right. Now we have the inside ditch here. That's not as visible. So now we have a ditch on the inside too. Minor details we still want to have. Obviously this is sort of perfectionist stuff. I mean, nobody's ever going to notice this ditch here. It's just because I know that it's there. It's nice to have it, pretty much. Trying to make sense if there is anything here that I should do too. Have small ditch. this part. Good enough. We do have another pile here on the inside. Let's see if we can get a good look at it. Raise, focus up a bit. That might be too big. We have the inner circle with 5 feet here. So you come off of this here, land, go to the inside. Maybe. Trying to create a nice, smooth inside bank. Just going to take away a tiny bit of the inside to make the inside a little bit more distinct. It looks uneven enough to be sort of realistic, which I'm pretty happy about. Even though this particular one isn't that much. bumpish. That was too strong. Still considering pretty much what to do here, if it's good. I mean, it looks like a good one. We have already made these two. Made elevation. There's a ditch in between. Not sure if we have that ditch. Looks like we do not have this. Almost forgot to set it to lower. That's good. Save. And we can see that it's sort of bank split in two pieces. Okay. So we have this part, then a flat thing, then we have this part right here. Stream has been going on for 40 minutes. Feels like way more. Wow, it's 12 o'clock already. Ooh. So I definitely miscalculated my time here. But that's not going to stop me. We have a burr bank to make. pretty much. Then just let's add a little bit of normal, not sharpness really, but roundness. And I don't like that they're so incredibly not sharp. So let's see, gradient placement. I just do new gradient. Set from terrain. So that looks good. Linear paint. 0. Focus to 50. So now this is going to be an edge here, but that's exactly what I wanted to have. At least this won't be something you're just going straight over. And we're just going to have to make the tiniest smooth here, so it's not too sharp. But it should still be sharp enough that you just don't want to pile right over it. That's exactly the effect I want to have if you hit it. No idea what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just pretty much trying the track out. Thanks, man. It's soon good enough to... I just need to finish banks all around the track and stuff that sort of marks out where the track actually goes before I can start putting on decals and doing the fun stuff. Or not fun stuff, but it's at least closer to what the end result will be. And once decals are up and stuff, I could start with timing gates, so you can actually practice laps and get them to count. But we still have a lot of fixed, especially up here. I need to figure out what's going where. Yeah. I feel like this section is mostly done, since it was so gnarly to make it. Yeah, obviously need ruts and bumps. I don't want to have too much of those, just want to have a nice track to ride on. So let's save, shall we? Always good to save. Let's go to the next stuff I have to add. So let's see, we have bank on both sides here. Whoopsie. I don't want to make it really hard. I just want to make it fun to ride and good to race on. That's pretty much the only goal I have for this. But it should be fun, it should be representing the real track in a good way. As you can see, it's not too much ruts and bumps and stuff on the straightaways, it's in specific turns. Let's see, we have the folk race course crossing about this way. So they're both a little far away, in my opinion. Something maybe like that. The first one is where it needs to be at least. So, at least position wise. Pretty much right. Just need to smooth out outside. But it depends on, like, if I would make the actual ruts, first off, you can't ride ruts as they are real life ruts in sim. It's straight up impossible. I made those and it's no fun. And the bumps in real life are so small that they are most likely not noticed in sim, so you have to find a nice mixture, sort of. So I doubt anyone will cut that little piece, but I'm going to illustrate with timing gates sort of how I intend to place them. So the timing gate is going to be placed like, so you sort of must not cut the track very much. So I'm going to have, I guess, one, something like this, and then I'm going to have one like this. So you have to go through both to get it. I'm also going to have one, it's going to be right next to this. So basically, if you cut this, if you cut the banks, you are going to be penalized. So have a little bit for errors. Now I'm going to have another one, simply like that. So you can't cut pretty much. And over the jumps, you have to really see where the jumps are and stuff. That one could be on the start gate. Let's see, we have the other little side here that goes from next to the double and past. Pretty much. Might have to redo the starting gate here if it continues like this. It doesn't look too bad. I am surprised. This is going to be fine. But the only thing it needs now is more edge, as this one also did. So set from terrain, a very small linear paint with 0, and then that looks good. Very, very non-strength smooth. To just get rid of the absolutely worst lunch. Yay! Is it candy for lunch today too? Or are you going to try to take a salad or something? Be a little more healthy. Could use a little bit more. Stream has gone on for 56 minutes. Let's try out some lines here to see. But I don't want to make this a big triple or something, or make things completely out of proportion just to prevent an insane line. Well, I guess people will have to quad in for their hot laps. I'm gonna try that once more, and I think I'm going to be out of time pretty soon. Quad in, simple enough. Smack right into that. So we do have a fence or something at that point. We do have a tiny ditch until the bank comes around. Okay, we need to statues. Once again, I'm using statues just to see where stuff are, sort of. And it is a fence out here, going sort of across. So it goes from this to that. That would be there to there. Let's not do that this time. Let's make the ditch instead. So the ditch here is coming from just goes to that point, but goes past until wherever that is there. This stitch might be very, very deep. Just realized. And it is very, very deep. At least on certain places. This part could be lowered more. This part could be a little bit raised because I thought that looked unnecessarily deep. However, some part here sticks up, so let's deepen that. Now there's just one thing left to do, smooth. Just to make it look less sharp. So as I like to do, I like to take a lap around the track before I quit the session, as I am going to have to get ready for school. I'm going to have a guidance with a teacher in a project that my group is working on. And in this course pretty much no one knows what we're doing. It's really interesting. The only one that knows anything what's going on is the teacher. So yeah. So we've put up this fence here. Doesn't look fantastic, but it does the job. We also did a ditch on the inside there, as we didn't see, as well as on the outside. Put a pile here on the inside to prevent cutting. We dug a ditch, yet again, more piles on the inside, for banks, whichever you prefer to call them. And we did a few more banks here. Yay! Crash. I think that was about it we did for the track. I'm just going to finish up this lap here. Either way. Over jumping that because it's so small. Whoops. Can't get a straight line. Oh, that's not even what I meant to say. I meant to say I can't even get a lap without crashing. That's pretty sad. Especially on this track. Me building it. I played for 6 years. So this will do it for this stream. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and see ya on the next stream. It will most likely be during next week, as I tend to have way less time on the weekends when I do stuff. So that's about it. See you guys, and thanks for tuning in.